parentage, and a humble background, I was born at the prestigious Wesley Guild Hospital, Ilesha, with one of the best medical facilities in Nigeria and a retinue of well-trained doctors, nurses, and medical personnel to boot. So I knew this song as a toddler. Ìgbìmọ̀ mi rèjò fi ojú mi rò mí o. Ìgbìmọ̀ mi padà bọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ mi mọ́ dayọ̀. Ọba rere mọ́jọ̀rọ̀ ẹkún bá mi. I grew up wanting to be a medical doctor. We lived at Kappa in Ilesha, the staff quarters of the Government Teacher Training College Ilesha, where my late dad was a teacher and a tent-making Methodist minister. Incidentally, I visited the compound a year ago, got to the house where we lived, and was taken aback by the level of infrastructural decay. The hitherto green, lush lawns are overgrown with weeds, with indiscriminate subsistence farming going all around the place. As a young man with a humble background, I missed nothing. In fact, when my late dad of blessed memory bought his first ladder saloon car at less than £3,000 with a car loan, I felt we had moved to the upper middle class. I never believed we didn't have what bourgeoisies had. There was no "my car is bigger than your own" mentality. To us, then, education was everything, and this still holds true today as the best inheritance and legacy that can be enduring. We can change the narrative by investing tremendously on rejuvenation of formal and citizens' education across board, so that we can restore a value system that engenders transformational and healthy leadership traits for a better tomorrow. Our children deserve a brighter and a better tomorrow, not the good old days. I join Shemore in this collective drive towards a greater tomorrow. Thank you.
Increase the reach of your events or business services. To advertise on PlusTV Africa, please call 0906 000 5719 or 0909 040 8408, or send an email to marketing@plustvafrica.com. Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Usayome Sally, and today I'm joined by my amazing ladies, Jennifer Nicholas and Manny Money. Hello, ladies. Hi. I just like that money at the end of the conversation.
Yes, you need to put it always.
Money.
King Money.
Yes, so.
When you your hair is
It's smoking, right? Thank you.
Fabs.
Yeah, Fab's hair.
We are coming for you.
Yes, Fab's hair, guys.
That's why people who didn't win my hair. I will bring it back maybe in Valentine. Maybe they will finally win it. But how are you? How was your day?
My day was amazing. So I do everything on Friday. I just keep looking forward to coming here. So,
Wow, awesome.
So I always enjoy my Fridays.
Awesome. How about you, Jennifer? How was your day?
my day was long. It felt really long. So I had a lot to do, lots of emails, lots of meetings, but I'm glad it's over.
Oh,
Look forward to tomorrow.
she was supposed to be on the show yesterday night, and they set a meeting up at 6:30.
Oh yeah.
And budget by March. So basically, that means from now till March, you're changing the KPI, changing that, oh, this will not work for Nigeria, let's do this and let's change it to this and all of that. I mean, it's a global company, so you have to consider a lot of things. But yeah.
Interesting.
Well done.
All right, so today we're discussing financial freedom.
Yes.
And here's what we found as today's quote. Financial planning and discipline is the key rather to one's financial freedom. As I mentioned earlier, we're discussing financial freedom. And what does financial freedom mean to you? Is it the ability to have a strong purchasing power and being able to buy what you want when you want it, or is there more to this? Ezekiel Sholesi is here to show us ways that we can adapt and implement a working strategy that would guarantee financial freedom for everyone. Now, we'll do that after the break. Stay with us. You're still watching Ways National Hugging Day. Hug yourself. It's an annual event dedicated to hugging. It was created by Kelvin Zabone and occurs annually on January 21st. The day was first celebrated on January 21st in 1986 in Clio, Michigan, USA. The holiday is also observed in many other countries. The idea of National Hugging Day is to encourage everyone to hug family and friends more often. Zaboni cautions to ask first if one is unsure of the response, as respecting the personal space of others is always important, and some people are not huggers. Are you a hugger? Who is a hugger here?
I'm a hugger.
Really?
I'm a hugger.
Yes, I'm a hugger.
I'm not a hugger actually.
I love it.
I love to hug. Yeah, I hug myself.
So maybe holding hands. I love to hold hands, but hugging is not so much my.
Yes, thank you.
I actually don't like to hold hands.
Really?
I don't like
Yeah, I
to
don't
hold
like
hands
hugging.
at all.
I rather hug.
Really, I'm not a hugger, but I have one child that is a hugger.
So you do have a choice.
Whether you like it or not.
It's gonna hug
He
you.
wakes up in the morning, he comes to hug me. He's going to bed at night, he comes to
But
hug
you know,
me and
boys
kiss
are
me.
like that.
Really?
So I have 2 girls and a boy, and my boy hugs me. I'm not even exaggerating, maybe 10 times a day.
Wow.
Yes, I'm not exaggerating. So boys are huggers. They hug more.
My kid brother is our last born. He's always hugging. Once he sees you and you're stressed, he'll hug you.
No.
You're
my son
happy,
does that
he'll
as
hug you.
well. Yeah.
I get back home and I see him like after a long time, he will hug. I'm like, it's okay.
No, I don't. I want it. Give me more.
So I mean, it's actually interesting to hear that boys are huggers.
Oh,
So
boys
that
are
means,
huggers.
what then happened along the line? They tell him, man up.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and they start to
Yeah.
hold it inside. Yeah.
Because my son is actually a hugger. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
He hugs,
My
man.
son is a hugger too.
Okay, so what did we find in the news? Who am I starting with? Let me start with money. I think you're ready.
Okay, so Punch says that the reps order probe of contract kickbacks, extortion by MDA officials. The House of Representatives is investigating the alleged collection of illegal charges imposed on contractors by ministers, departments, and agencies of the federal government, which go as high as 25% of the project cost. This is really high. So at the plenary on Thursday, the House unanimously adopted a motion titled Need to Investigate Unlawful Administrative Charges and Levies by the MDAs. So for me, I just think that it's high time that this happens.
We've
because
always said it.
it's high time because these kickbacks are illegal payments, So, and it's not going to the government, it's going to their own pockets. And it has a lot of disadvantages. The first we know is that the contractors are unable to complete the project. You know, sometimes they abandon the project or they do not complete them.
I know how many projects my dad had to turn down, government projects, because when you quote this thing, sometimes they take even as high as 70%, 50% off the money.
True.
So what do you want me to use to do the project and complete it?
They don't care.
So
So that's why the projects are abandoned. They cannot keep to the terms of the contract.
So if they really follow through with this,
it's going to be
a major transformation for capital projects that we have.
But this is such a disgrace. Come
it's a big
on,
disgrace. But
you get paid for your work. Someone else comes to get a contract, and you say, "I want 70%."
So that's what we are saying. We should make governance less lucrative for them.
Yes,
and put in the structures.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
Most of these people who end up winning these contracts, they end up being in debt because you use your money and then nobody is.
No, that's why they abandon the project. Yeah, like I can't do it.
the contractors are wiser now. It's in those days that we had nice contractors.
So what do they do now?
You've collected because you can't come and fight me now. If you, I will expose you.
Yes, exactly.
So they too, as they collect their own, everybody goes back. And nobody does the job.
So basically, it's just left there.
Of course.
Okay, but these people complain about certain people in government, and yet look at what they're doing at their own levels. It's such a disgrace anyways.
Well, that's what we see. So we have to put a structure.
Yeah.
Jennifer, your story.
Borno student slits 11-year-old's throat for refusal to run errands.
What?
Yes. So a senior student of Academic College of Islamic Theology, Maiduguri, has slit the throat of an 11-year-old junior student. So basically what happened was he told the junior student to go get him something, and the junior student refused. Then at night he went to the guy's hostel, took him to a very secluded area and slit his throat with razor. So he left the boy there.
The boy died?
Yeah, the boy did not die. So the boy found strength to get to the principal office, and then they took him to the hospital. So he's still in the hospital. A lot of his trachea and everything is just damaged. And one of the staff said that this is not the first time something like this is happening. And the parents of the senior student are saying they shouldn't press charges or they shouldn't talk about it too much so that it won't get to the news and the students won't be on blast. And the staff also mentioned that it has happened a lot of times that the school doesn't report these cases. So they basically just hide it. So there are people who are probably have been killed, people who are injured or who cannot come back to school because of issues like this.
So this is a very serious issue. Yesterday, I'm part of an NGO called the Fundación Éxito. Yesterday we had a webinar on saving the children, protecting the children because of all these issues that have arisen in recent times, from Sylvester to the girl in Abuja to the boy, I think in Abuja as well. It's crazy what you just said just now, like they are trying to suppress this news. Even the schools are a big part of it.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's on the news. It's on the news.
Let me tell you something. The school is a reflection of the larger society.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what is happening? A lot of things happen. See what happened clearly at the before everybody's eyes at the Lekki toll. That happened in front of the whole world because we're watching on Instagram Live, and the government tried to, sweep it under the carpet.
Yeah.
So this is just a reflection of the larger problem that we have in the society, and it's really sad. It tells you how deep we've gone.
Very deep. So what we are doing now is very good. We're calling them out.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
We need to.
A lot of parents need to start speaking up and holding schools accountable.
Yeah. All right, my story is actually a video. I would like for you to watch it. Then we'll come back.
And brass, fantastic. But you go and sink in your village home where you rarely stay. House or houses or an empire that you have sunk in billions to build where you and your family will rarely stay. Is that not foolishness? Hear me, ladies and gentlemen. One of the things we need to do in this climb is to always ask God for wisdom to teach us to do the right thing. Yes, we can build our homes in the village, but something moderate and cute, something lovely and wonderful and cute, something manageable and cute. It's wonderful to be in our village homes, especially a place where we know we don't stay all the time. where we just visit as if we're on holiday. Why waste such money there? If you have too much money that you don't know what to do with it, why don't you go buy lands, build an estate, and rent the houses out to people? Subsidize the rentage so that people will be able to pay for it. And then you can be helping humanity.
All right, thanks for staying with us. So that was Eukaria Nobi, the veteran actress, talking to, I believe they are Igbo men she was talking to, all these people that go to the village to build. Because today we're discussing financial freedom. Yeah. And that was why I thought to bring up the video. I found it very interesting. I don't know why, a lot of Igbo people build, because you would see, like, I've been to a village one time, around nothing, right in the middle of bush, you will see a big mansion. Who is living inside of that place? There was the one I saw that the street was, I'm not exaggerating, it's the beginning of Legally Ayerinde all the way to this Oniru Junction. That was one man's house, the beginning to the end. So it was a sign of, then that that you have arrived. So the house has to be big. Even my friend's house that I went to Unko, their house was so massive, but right there it's covered in bush. So I don't know, Jennifer, maybe you should help me understand it.
Okay, so one thing here, if you've not built a house as a man in the Igbo land,
you've not arrived.
You're not the son of the land. Let's start with that. So there is that pressure to want to build so much, either build something or build something that is bigger than the other family's son's building. But then at the end of the day, I mean, I understand where Ikeria is coming from, but there is a foundational problem. It's deep-rooted. So you have to really police people on how. I think there's just somewhere at the back of your mind that if anything happens, one day something will happen. I mean, nobody suspected that Biafra was going to happen. So if something happens again, if there is a war or maybe something comes,
if there's a war, it will reach everywhere now.
Well, so it's like, okay, I am back home with my Igbo brothers and sisters. We are all safe together. We are safe. I'm not paying for rent. So if, as push comes to shove, if money finishes today,
more of the financial part, if you actually want to, why don't you invest in, like she advised,
like she said,
build estate, give subsidized homes, because that house, honestly speaking, is money wasted.
Yeah.
Is not so for those kind of houses, they are not assets, because the value it downgrades because when you don't use a property,
even the location of the house is not
an asset.
Yeah.
So if you really want to be charitable like that, where you build those palatial kind of homes, why don't you do something for humanity? I think it was worth talking about. All right, we'll take a break. When we return from the break, we want to discuss financial freedom. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the Babin, I pay my rent. From the Babin, I send my children to school.
A consultative engagement.
No any tangible notification before they ban us.
It's one thing.
This medal has been directed to empower 1,000 persons with disabilities in each state in the next 12 months.
We now start hearing the shoot of guns.
It is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
He suffered equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect them.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 they pay.
All right, thanks for staying with us. Achieving financial freedom is a goal for many people. It generally means having enough savings, investment, and cash on hand to afford the lifestyle you want for yourself and your family, and a growing nest egg that will allow you to retire or pursue the career you want without being driven by earning a certain amount each year. Unfortunately, too many people fail to achieve it. They are burdened with increasing debt, financial emergencies, this one is the tongue twister for me. Profligate spending and other issues that thwart them from reaching their goals. Then there are unexpected events such as a family emergency or pandemic that overturns plan and reveals holes in their safety nets that weren't visible before. Now, do you think it is possible to have a foolproof strategy that guarantees financial freedom? Please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So I'm going to bring in Ezekiel in a minute, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts. You think it's possible for you to have a foolproof strategy for financial freedom? Do you think so?
I think so. I think you can start somewhere. You can start planning, but things happen along the way, but just have a plan.
Jennifer, how about you?
Yeah, I agree with her. I think it's all about your planning and your strategy.
So do you have one in place?
Yeah, I do.
Really? So we're not on the same boat. I thought we were broke together, Jennifer. Jennifer just embarrassed on national TV. So I was here thinking that we were broke together.
Honestly, I think right from when I was in primary school, I've always had respect for money. I've always been able to save. I remember then when I'm going to school in primary school, I mean, we didn't have so much. My mom would give me 10 naira, and then she would also give me my lunchbox. So the 10 naira basically is to buy juice or biscuits in case you see your other friends where you can buy yours. So basically what I do is I divide that 10 naira into two. I use 5 naira, buy 2 for 5 naira biscuits. So eat one in the afternoon, then take one home, and then probably use like maybe extra 1 naira from maybe yesterday or the previous day to buy sweets. Then that remaining 5 naira, I save it every day, and I use it during the weekend.
How old were you?
Probably I was 7, 8.
Well, you know, you're 9. An Igbo girl.
Continue.
Let me bring you
Why did continue?
But you know, sometimes I just wish, why did you come from that Igbo lineage?
They are like the Jews.
I tell you. So Ezekiel Shaughnessy is a prolific author, insightful speaker, and a serial entrepreneur. He's the co-founder of Nature Gift Product Limited. I believe it's a soap making company, and he's also they make natural soaps from pawpaw. Yeah, they call it Nature Feel Papaya Soap. Co-founder of SMID Animation Studios Limited, one of the top 2 animation companies in Nigeria, and he's also the CEO of Limb Simple, an organization whose acronym means Life, Investment, Money, and Business Made Simple. The company has a mission to provide specified technical, inspirational, and motivational information that would enable everyone, everyday people, make deliberate improvements in their lives and businesses. His activities as a speaker and a facilitator spans over a variety of industry, and he's done this over a decade. Thank you so much for joining us. And he's not a stranger to ways. Thank you. We always make sure we bring him annually. Is that maybe December, end of the year, or January, so that he can set the pace. But thank you so much, Ezekiel, for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So this is an important topic. This is something that you do for a living. You are a strategist. You look at people, you go into their lives, and you're able to help them dissect something that is workable to their, you tailor it to their unique strength and everything, and eventually get them to that attaining that financial freedom. So first of all, what exactly I don't want to expose myself on national TV. But you see, are these strategies truly workable? Can they be adopted by anyone, and can it be implemented by anyone?
Yeah, strategy is simply a plan. That's really what forget all the big English.
All the big English.
A strategy is at the very basic level a plan. So the question is, are there plans to be financially free? And
it can work for anybody.
It works. And I think the most important thing is that there's a way to think about the plan. Because sometimes you can't just take someone else's plan and use it for yourself. It might not work. So for example, I have maybe 5, 6 things that I'll talk about. So the first thing I talk about when it comes to financial freedom is to understand be clear about what your goal is.
Clarity.
A lot of people say, I want plenty money, I want a lot of money. It doesn't really work that way because your mind can figure out exactly what you want and doesn't know. I'll give you an instance. Has this ever happened to you? You decide you want to buy a car, maybe a Range Rover, Evoque, whatever, right? And you're so obsessed with it, and then you go out, and it looks like that's the only car you see.
Yeah.
Like the Association of Range Rover Owners decide that is in front of your
Don't
house.
be following your idiot.
Exactly. So that's exactly what clarity means. So the first thing is to really decide, when I think about financial freedom, what exactly are my thoughts about it, right? So for example, financial freedom to somebody might be, I'd live somewhere, a low-scale neighborhood, have a decent house, not have to worry about money, have a large house in the village. And not necessarily. For some other person, financial freedom is to be able to live on their own terms in Banana Island. Some other people, they want to have a house at the south of France. Some other people want. So financial freedom is not a fixed destination. It's really dependent on what the person wants. So once you're clear about what you want, the other thing I always encourage is that, so I don't really set goals every year. I don't.
Why?
And it's because I set goals in 5 years, 5 years, 10 years. Because usually we always overestimate what we can achieve in a year, but we grossly underestimate what can happen in 5 years. And what happens is if you set, so for example, I'm on the 3rd year of a 5-year goal now, right? And our business is being able to hit that. And I know exactly what we need to do. Sometimes it will happen as planned. Most times it won't happen as planned, but we're going that way, right? Now, the reason why that's important is that when you ask people to set a goal for 1 year, they think too short term. Financial freedom actually happens when people think long term. So if you think about, just think about Dangote, for example, right? Dangote's been in business for 30 plus years, right? It didn't really get into the Forbes list until, let's say, 2007, 2008. He'd been doing buying and selling for many years, then got into manufacturing, and then boom. And the reason why it's important to think that long term is because life doesn't add, life compounds. So if you think about, the easy question, if you've ever read The Compound Effect, is if